Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Is it okay to tell somebody if something is flattering or not? Today, we're going to answer that question as well as look at some other miscellaneous content from Aubrey Hoff, PhD. In order to tackle this question, we must apply comb to mustache.
A lot of people have beef with the idea of things being flattering. Let's unpack it.
Okay, I forgot to warn you guys. Alright, this is the only time you're going to see me do this. Trigger warning, vocal fry. If it bothers you to hear somebody draw out the end of every single word, you might have a hard time paying attention to what she's actually even saying at all and just focus solely on the vocal fry. So, I know it's hard, but stay in there with me and let's focus on what she actually says.
Oftentimes, people are given unsolicited advice about how to dress or do makeup in a more flattering way.
Yeah, and I guess you have a problem with that. I'm guessing this isn't going to be a speech about how much you appreciate the unsolicited advice from strangers.
To be clear, I'm not talking about content where someone is like, here's this outfit, do you like it? Or does anyone have tips on how to do my makeup better? That's not what I'm talking about. But there will be videos where someone is just talking about something unrelated and someone is like, you need to do this to your eyebrows to make them look more flattering.
Bruh. Okay. Yeah, unsolicited advice can come off bad in a lot of ways, But sometimes you need to hear that, Sometimes you may not realize that something is unflattering to you or that you look foolish or something, and somebody needs to point it out. I don't mean that you should go around bullying people and pointing stuff out like that. But I do mean that one time I was at the bank, and this girl who worked behind the counter, she had eyebrows that were drawn on so clownishly, like the outline was like way over like this, and you could see her real eyebrow under there, but then it was like this. I don't know, it was so freaking clownish. I can't believe that nobody ever told her about this previously. It was so bad that I literally wanted to write on a piece of paper, your eyebrows, and then just slide that across the counter to her. But I was afraid that people would think I was trying to rob the bank. So I didn't proceed with this plan of action. I just let her live with her own mistakes. However, if I had had the balls to proceed with that, I would have saved that girl a lot of misfortune, a lot of embarrassment in the future. When it comes to eyebrows especially, I've seen some really clownish stuff lately. Here's a little tip. Less is more, alright? If your stuff goes like wider than this and it just keeps going, you're not even paying attention when you do your eyebrows. Every day you accidentally add on like another millimeter until the shit is like this wide. Well, you gotta at least every week or two look in the mirror and look at your eyebrows and just make sure that you didn't just keep going too wide and it got out of control. All right, do me that favor and just once a week, just eyebrow check. Here's a good idea. You can make like a little swatch, like a little piece of paper that you cut to the width that you want your eyebrow to be, and then you can put it up there every once in a while to make sure you're not like continually getting bigger and bigger with it. These are just my, eyebrow care tips, for the ladies, or for the men. We're all inclusive here. If you want to paint on shit on your eyebrows as a man, you go right ahead.
And one, unsolicited advice about how to change someone's appearance is just rude in general and you shouldn't do it.
It is rude in general, but it can be necessary, like in the case that I said a moment ago. Unsolicited advice is rude, but if you see me with a piece of toilet paper stuck to my shoe, do me a favor, just give me a little elbow like, hey, bruh, you got a little, you may want to take care of that before somebody else sees it, Do me that solid, and I'll do you that solid. If I see you walking down the street, and you got a shit stain on your arm or something, that was dumb, cut that one out.
But also, what do you mean by flattering?
What do you mean by flattering? What do you mean, what do they mean by flattering? What do you mean? What part of the word flattering are you not getting? I believe it means clothing or makeup or whatever that makes you look good. So if somebody tells you, hey man, this is flattering on you, that's like, yo, that makes you look good. Or like, hey homie, or compadre, whatever the hell people say, I don't know. You'd be like, hey man, that is not flattering on you. I know it's unsolicited advice, but if somebody like is going to go out of their way, like outside of the norm of social interaction to tell you something like that, then it must be a big issue. You know, like they must think that this thing could really benefit your life. Like they're like, yo, your necklace or whatever, if you would stop wearing that, dude, freaking you'd be 100 times better, you know, whatever it is. Like, people are awkward, so if somebody goes out of their way to tell you something weird like that, they probably like psyched themselves up forever to even get the courage to tell you that. So they must have thought it was important. Not always. Some people just got a big ass mouth and they just pop off with stuff and they don't even realize it until after it came out of their mouth. Sometimes that happens to me. You know, sometimes I go to say something like, hey, how's it going, man? And then all this shit just starts falling out of my mouth. Like the truth, the literal freaking truth, literally just starts coming out of my mouth. It's egregious. It's horrific. I'm working on stopping that. Sometimes you got to like try to shove those words right back in your mouth. I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything.
Are you just giving advice about how to fit conventional beauty standards?
Bruh.
Yes. Yes. If you want to look good per our standards, you will do X, Y, and Z.
Maybe you shouldn't assume that everyone wants to meet conventional beauty standards anyway, and maybe they're just presenting in a way that makes them happy.
So that was about how she doesn't appreciate being told what's flattering or not flattering or whatever. I don't know. Towards the end there, my soul started to leave my body a little bit, because like my brain may have to sit here and put up with this, but my spirit does not. And it's just like, peace, and off it goes. All right, let's take a look at the next clip.
I think the most insidious part of the diet and wellness industries are this narrative we're sold that if you act a certain way, if you look a certain way, then you will be worthy of love.
Bruh.
Oh, wow, you're really breaking it down to some personal feelings now, huh? Wow. This one sounds honestly like you're putting your personal stuff on this one. Like, what? If you look at the fitness industry, the diet industry or whatever, the wellness industry, and you get the vibe from them that like, you will be worthy of our love once you fit into the physical shape that we deem worthy. If that's what you get from that, I don't know, man. It sounds like you're projecting your personal issues onto this stuff, honestly. I'm not trying to get all psychological on that ass. But it sounds like you're pushing your own stuff onto this. Like, I don't recall the part where they like broke into people's emotions and deep feelings and all that type of stuff of love. I don't recall them ever selling you on the idea of love, but moreover on the idea of being able to not have diabetes. I think that's what the health and diet industry is going for.
Growing up, I didn't experience a lot of love and affection from the people around me, and I really held fast to this idea that if I just changed my body to be a more acceptable body, then I would start being treated with love and respect.
So yes, it's exactly what I just said. Alright, so that just clarifies that everything that you're saying about the diet industry is just a projection of how you feel about your parents growing up. You feel like you weren't worthy of love because you didn't conform to the body shape that they wanted you to. And now you're projecting this feeling onto the diet and wellness industry. It is not the diet and wellness industry that needs help here. It is you. And I'm not saying that in an insulting way. I'm saying you know that your issues stem from the way that your parents treated you. So why are you trying to make it an external thing? Why are you fighting all these made-up boogeymen when the fight is actually within?
And I think a lot of wellness marketing, this idea that if you just start to dedicate yourself to your health, then all of these shining doors will open for you and suddenly everything will fall into place, sells that same idea.
Well, a lot of stuff will fall into place for you. You may see it as fairly meaningless, this vessel that carries your soul around on this planet, but it's actually pretty meaningful. Like, this, dude, all of this, the mind, the body, the whole thing, it's very important. If you don't take care of it, you will break down in your old age in a very fast way. And if you lose weight, it will benefit your life greatly. They're not selling you this crazy idea of when you lose weight, man, the whole world is going to be completely different. That's literally what will happen. Like, that's not just some crazy pipe dream. That's literally what happens when you lose weight. Your entire life changes. Your perspective changes. You grow as a human being from the hard work of sticking to something. Physically and mentally, you do a complete 180. You don't even know what life is like if you've never been at a healthy weight.
But what if instead we taught self-love and acceptance, and we perpetuated the idea that if people don't like you for who you are, they probably don't deserve you anyway?
We do perpetuate all those things. That's already true. Taking good care of your physical form doesn't mean that we just become superficial and give up on the idea of somebody liking us or knowing us as an individual. That's not what that does. We're not saying, hey world, I'm just going to be known for my physical form now. I'm going to go ahead and turn in the keys to my brain from now on and just use my sweet, sweet body to get ahead. And yeah, you'll just know me as the guy with the body from now on because I took care of it. We can take good care of our body and still exist and function on a deeper level where we care about each other because of who we are as people and what we say, not because of our physical appearance. One more clip just for fun. Are you feeling it, Mr. Krabs? Are you?
I wish that more people recognize that you can have goals related to fitness and exercise that aren't rooted in weight loss.
Okay. Weight loss. Sorry, I've been holding those in. The vocal fry is astounding, man. I'm really trying to not talk about that too much. I'm trying to focus on what is being said here. I'm a big boy. I can just focus on what you say. I don't have to make fun of the way you say it. I don't have to do that. I don't have to do it. I don't have to make fun of vocal fry, dude. I don't have to say that it's...
Don't get me wrong, if somebody comes up to me and tells me how they met their fitness goals through weight loss, I'm not gonna be mean to them and tell them that they shouldn't try to lose weight. It's your body. You can do what you want with it.
You should be mean to them. You should be like, what? Why? How dare you lose weight, stupid? I'm Hoff, PhD. How dare you? PhD's nuts. What the hell? What's wrong with me?
But for me, the only way that I've been able to learn to enjoy exercise and movement is by separating it entirely from weight loss and having goals that are not related to my weight.
Okay, you just spoke a mouthful. The only way that you can enjoy exercise is if you separate it from weight loss, which to me means I can only enjoy this activity if there's not a way to measure my progress. How are you measuring your progress if not by your weight loss or your muscle gain? What are you trying to achieve? The problem is the diet is the most important thing. You can go to the gym every day for 3 hours, and if you're not eating the right things, you will literally gain weight, and it won't be muscle. It's honestly messed up that you had to abandon this idea of tracking progress and having fitness goals just because you weren't eating the right things. So you're going to the gym, you're doing all the right movements and stuff, but then you're going home and eating processed carbs and sugar, pre-made meals, drinking a bunch of calories via sugary drinks, and you're not getting any results and you're getting discouraged. And in order to cope with this mentally, you're like, well, I'm not doing this to lose weight anyway. Which is honestly true. You don't do cardio to try to create a caloric deficit. That is flawed logic, as I've said before. You watch what you put in your mouth to create a caloric deficit.
I have a blue belt in Krav Maga, which was a 6-hour test that I had to complete. So I did a lot of training for that, and being able to get my blue belt was an amazing experience.
So what you're saying is that you trained for the Krav Maga thing, and then you were able to take a test, and then you had a quantifiable thing that proves that you accomplished the thing. You got a blue belt. I took the test, I got the blue belt, here we are. Whereas with fitness, it's not quite like that. You don't just go, take a test, pass, and you're done, and you have quantifiable results that you can show, hey, here's my fitness, I did it. It doesn't work like that. It's an everyday struggle that we're always working towards. So the lack of instant gratification, I guess, turns you off to the idea.
And then last year, I ran a 5K, or earlier this year, I ran a 5K for the first time, and that was really cool. But it sucked because when I was training for the 5K, everyone was like, oh, you're gonna get so skinny from running all the time. I didn't. I did not get skinny. My legs just became insanely yoked.
See, this proves what I said. You were training for a 5K, so you're running all the time, you're putting in plenty of cardio, but you didn't lose weight. Because the logic behind that, like I said, is flawed. You don't do cardio to try to lose weight. You don't say, I'm going to eat this food that is not good for me, but it's okay because I'm going to go to the gym later and run on the treadmill. It doesn't work like that. it is incredibly difficult to create a caloric deficit through cardio. Cardio is more about strengthening your heart and lungs, cardiovascular health. The key is to change what you eat. You don't even need to count calories. You don't even need to keep track of anything. Just stop eating sugar, processed carbs, pre-made meals, soda, and sugary drinks. Make all your meals at home from scratch simple. Steak, potato, broccoli, boom. Any combination, protein, starch, vegetable, you're good. Just not too much carb, simple. Go with that, stick with it. If the cravings for sugar come, just ignore them, man.
Fitness doesn't have to be weight loss.
But it can be. If you tried to have it be weight loss and you didn't succeed, you don't have to crap on fitness as a whole now. You could just be like, oh, I just didn't understand diet and nutrition, and that's what happened. I did all the right exercises, but I was lacking a key component to this thing, which is diet. It's the most important thing about weight loss. Aubrey Hoffer is projecting her personal issues onto this stuff. Like she said, the thing about love, and they don't love you unless you have a good enough body. That was from the childhood. And then the thing about exercise not having to be about weight loss. That's because you didn't achieve any weight loss even though you were exercising all the time. It might be okay momentarily to rationalize all these things in your mind, but it's going to be better for your mental health overall to just accept your failures and work on them. It's okay, we all make mistakes. Except for me, I'm perfect. Oh yeah, I'm currently working on that Q&A video, so it's still coming out. I didn't forget about it. I'm just trying to make it interesting. You know how hard it is to just talk about yourself and have it be funny? It ain't funny. It's going to be boring. So I'm sorry, but it's just going to be boring. So look out for that one coming soon. Anyway, that about does it. Thanks for watching, commenting, liking, and subscribing. And I'll see you in the next one.